This is KGW News at Sunrise.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks for getting up with us to start your weekend. I'm Brittany Folkers. Topping headlines this morning, it was a unique moment in Oregon history. A concert put on just to lure would-be protesters away from Portland. Now there's an effort to revive the Oregon Vortex. Plus, we go one-on-one with Portland's new police chief and her plan to tackle many of the biggest issues facing the Bureau. But let's start things off with a check on your forecast with Lacey Evans. Good morning, Lacey.
Good morning, Brittany, and good morning to you. And yeah, it is a little wet out there. We had some rain move in overnight and hit us early this morning. But you can see right now we're just seeing some scattered showers over the Portland metro area. We are mostly dry on the western part of the state, but another front is going to move in offshore later tonight, later this afternoon and evening, and it is going to hit us with some rain and some heavy winds. So be prepared for that. Temperatures out there right now, 45 in Happy Valley, 47 in Portland. It is really mild out there and it's going to stay that way. You can see you're already along the 50s in the coast. So yeah, we are getting ready for some mild and wet couple of days. So showers this morning, again later this afternoon and evening. That rain is going to increase, going to be pretty wet overnight. The snow level right now today is at 6,000 feet. It is going to lower tomorrow. We could see some snow. We'll get into that in our full forecast. Brittany?
All right. Thanks so much, Lacey. Well, we are talking traffic this morning with an alert if you're heading out the door in Portland. One lane of West Burnside will stay closed through the weekend thanks to this landslide. You see it right there. The eastbound lane is expected to reopen on Monday. The slide happened between Barnes and Skyline roads. PBOT says this is the largest slide on a city street in about 2 years. City crews were out all day cleaning it up and building a retaining wall on the hillside. And take a look at this. An even bigger landslide has State Route 4 closed in southwest Washington. This is cut off Waycombe County, and officials think that this will be a lengthy closure. So to get around it, traffic has to cross over the Oregon side of the river in either Longview or Astoria. This morning, a scary situation overnight. Portland police say 2 cars with people inside were hit by gunfire at a traffic light in the Sumner neighborhood. It happened just before 3 o'clock this morning at Northeast Killingsworth and Northeast Columbia Parkway. Right now, Northeast Columbia Parkway is closed between Killingsworth and 82nd. Killingsworth is closed between I-205 and Columbia. Now, officers say 2 cars were stopped at the light waiting to turn west onto Killingsworth. And that's when 2 other cars pulled up. Someone from at least one of those cars started shooting, hitting the 2 stopped vehicles. A bullet grazed one of the drivers. Luckily, police say she was not injured and no one in the other car was hurt. The 2 other vehicles, though, took off and police are looking to track them down. If you have any information on the incident, call Portland Police. The trial for Max attack suspect Jeremy Christian begins next week. He's pleading not guilty by reason of mental disease or defect. Basically, Christian's lawyers plan to argue he couldn't have fully known what he was doing or appreciated that what he was doing was a crime. Though Christian has admitted to stabbing 3 men on the Max train back in 2017, according to court documents, he says he was afraid they were going to attack him. Witnesses said the men were stepping in to protect 2 black teenage girls from Christian's angry racist rant. So, can the defense work? Well, we asked our team of legal experts what it takes to qualify for an insanity defense here in Oregon.
They have to qualify for an accepted mental health defense like schizophrenia, schizoid personality, all sorts of things. They have to show that that particular defense is viable and that the person either couldn't appreciate the criminality of their conduct or couldn't conform their conduct to the requirements of the law.
She told us that she doesn't think it's going to work in this case because, among other factors, police said Christian ran from the stabbing scene.
We added de-escalation, equity, implicit bias, and procedural justice clauses for all officers.
That's Portland's new police chief describing how the Bureau has changed and now is in compliance with the Federal Department of Justice. The department sued the city over the way police treated people with mental illness. The chief did one-on-one interviews to talk about her vision for the department. KGW's Pat Doris talked with her about some of the big issues she faces.
Jamie Resch grew up in Beaverton and graduated from the University of Portland. She's worked as a Portland cop for the last 20 years and is well aware of the challenges faced by the city, including more than 400 shooting incidents last year. She wants more focus on stopping the mostly young people who are involved.
So when someone is identified at being at risk, the police bureau can then hand them off to a group that can really, I like to say, wrap around completely and hopefully prevent that shooting from occurring. So that's what we're gonna be focusing on, is the intervention piece.
She's also familiar with the high number of people on Portland's streets with mental health issues. Police are often the first responders when things go wrong.
I have worked with many mental health providers over my career. They're some of the most compassionate, caring people who do a job that, oftentimes isn't highly paid, and they do it because they have a calling for it. There are not enough of them, and there are not enough of the resources that they can provide. And that's what I'm going to be pushing for, is more resources to adequately address the needs of the people that we're responding to.
Speaking of the streets,
how are you going to solve the homeless problem?
Well, the Portland Police Bureau is not going to solve the homeless problem. We are going to be a very good partner in trying to address the homeless problem. But that's what we are. We are a partner.
the Portland Police Bureau is often short-staffed. The chief said that's because hiring pushes have been inconsistent.
We are facing some retirement bubbles that don't have hiring bubbles behind them. And so our staffing is going to continue to go down until we reach what I anticipate to be around the first couple of months of next year will probably be the lowest, and then we're going to start to see us pull back out of that.
So about that end of career thing.
When I've interviewed your predecessor, it's often been the beginning of the end of a career.
Yes.
Are you sure you want this job?
Yes, actually. I know that we have rotated through chiefs throughout my career. That is not my intent. As I've told people, I have 5 years left until I'm eligible to retire. I would love to be able to continue in this position. I think it's really important for the Bureau to have a long-term chief.
And that was KGW's Pat Doris reporting for us. And by the way, Portland police are hiring, and you do not have to have a criminal justice degree. The chief doesn't have one. In fact, she was planning on going to medical school, but changed her mind after graduation and applied to Portland police after seeing a recruiting ad. Well, we're taking you back 50 years to a unique moment in Oregon history. Check this out. This is archive video of the Vortex 1 Music Festival back in 1970. It drew crowds to Clackamas County, but its real purpose was to draw protesters away from Portland during a Richard Nixon visit. Now, organizers want to relive that moment. Volunteers are launching Vortex 2020. The music festival will return to McIver State Park in August. It will be free, but to earn a ticket, you're going to have to volunteer with a partner group in your community.
Give back to gain something. And Oregon gains a lot through volunteerism. And we're hopefully going to inspire more Oregonians to be involved in their local communities and nonprofit projects.
What a novel idea. I love that. And just a few acts are public right now. That includes the Dandy Warhols, Gus Van Sant, and Pink Martini, just to name a few. The full lineup will be announced February 14th, which, by the way, is Oregon's birthday. Well, basketball fans have been waiting for this weekend all season. It's the Civil War. The Beavers and the Ducks playing twice in just 3 days. And look at the lines to get in last night. Pretty packed. A complete sellout at the Matthew Knight Arena in Eugene. Round one goes to the home team. Sabrina Ionescu dropped 23 points and dished off 9 assists to lead Oregon to a 76-64 win. These two teams will meet again tomorrow afternoon at 1 o'clock in Corvallis. Art Edwards was in the house for last night's game. We're going to hear from him coming up in our 6:30 half hour as part of Friday Night Hoops. Don't want to miss that.